After the attack on Pearl Harbor, American and Filipino forces on the Philippine Islands were cut off and abandoned. For months, they waged a desperate, hopeless fight on the Bataan Peninsula. They became known as the battling bastards of Bataan, living on starvation rations, ravaged by disease, and bound by a single, solemn order: no surrender. But as the weeks turned into months, their commanders faced an impossible choice: obey that order and sacrifice every last man, or surrender and trust their fate to a merciless enemy. This is the story of that choice, taken from the final entries of a field diary belonging to Major Samuel King.
The 3rd of April, 1942. Another day in this green hell. I no longer keep track of the date by the sun, but by the number of men we bury. The jungle itself is trying to kill us faster than the Japanese. The air is so thick with humidity, it feels like you're breathing water. Malaria and dysentery are running through my battalion like wildfire. The men are no longer soldiers. They are ghosts. Walking skeletons with hollow eyes and skin the color of parchment. Their uniforms are tattered rags. Some have no boots left, their feet wrapped in whatever scraps they can find. Yet, they still fight. I do not know how. The courage of these men is a miracle, and it is a torment to witness, for I know it is being spent for nothing. Our rations were cut again this morning. A handful of rice. We have eaten the cavalry horses. We have eaten the monkeys, the snakes, anything that moves in the jungle. The men make grim jokes about it. They call themselves the battling bastards of Bataan, with no papa, no mama, no Uncle Sam. They laugh, but there is a hollowness to it. They know the truth. Washington has abandoned us. There are no reinforcements coming. There is no grand fleet sailing to our rescue. There is only us, and the jungle, and the enemy. We were told our stand here would buy time. But what is that time being used for, if not to save us? The question hangs in the air, unspoken, like the smell of disease and death that permeates this whole peninsula. The medics have nothing left. Not a drop of quinine. Not a single clean bandage. They are watching men die from wounds that would be trivial in a proper hospital. My duty is to lead these men. How can I lead them to a death that has no meaning? The 8th of April, 1942. The end has come. The Japanese launched their final offensive 3 days ago. They have shattered our lines. My battalion, what is left of it, is backed against the sea. We have maybe a dozen clips of ammunition per man. Our last artillery piece was destroyed this morning. All I have left are roughly 300 sick, starving boys who can barely lift their rifles. And I have my orders. Fight to the last man. An honorable death. A glorious sacrifice. It is easy for a general to write those words in a clean office 1,000 miles away. It is another thing to watch it happen. This afternoon, I walked through our makeshift aid station. A 17-year-old private from Iowa, a boy named Miller, was lying on the ground, delirious with fever. He didn't even recognize me. He was crying for his mother. He weighs maybe 90 pounds. What honor is there in ordering this child to stand up and be machine-gunned? What glory is there in his pointless death? Is my legacy as an officer, my personal honor, worth the lives of the 300 sons entrusted to me? I looked at Miller, and I saw not a soldier, but a child who deserved to go home. And I knew I could not give the order to die. The 9th of April, 1942. I have made my decision. At dawn, I will raise the white flag. I know what this means. I will be branded a coward. My career, my honor will be destroyed. I know what it likely means for my men. The Japanese have not shown themselves to be merciful captors. But surrender is not certain death. To continue fighting is. And so, I will choose the slimmest chance of life over the certainty of a meaningless end. My final order to my men will not be to charge. It will be to lay down their arms. Let history judge me as it will. But perhaps, by some miracle, some of these boys will survive this. Perhaps one day, Private Miller might see his mother again. For that chance, I will sacrifice my honor. I will sacrifice everything. This is not the end of a battle. This is the end of my command. May God have mercy on our souls.
On the 9th of April, 1942, Major General Edward P. King Jr. surrendered the 75,000 American and Filipino troops on Bataan. What followed was one of the greatest atrocities of the war, the Bataan Death March. Thousands died on the brutal 65-mile forced march to prisoner of war camps. Major King's diary, buried before the surrender and recovered years later, does not tell a story of victory. It tells the story of a commander's ultimate, agonizing responsibility. His choice did not lead to a happy ending, but it was a choice for life, however faint the hope. It is a testament to a different kind of courage, not the courage to die, but the courage to face dishonor in order to give your men one last, desperate chance to live.